Hey guys, Kevin Cage back with another cryptocurrency update. Welcome to the channel. Like and subscribe if you're serious about the digital asset space. And let's get right into it today. One take and uncut. I just recorded this entire video and it did not record correctly. This happens, every once in a blue moon. So be patient with me. I'm going to try to breeze through this information, guys. Tons of new XRP news, of course. And I want to bring it all together with some important points and then some personal recommendations as well. So again, none of this is financial advice. Please question everything, question me, source, you can do your own research after this video as well and decide for yourselves. So to kick things off with the chart, because I know crypto, we've kind of been in a standstill, relatively speaking, for the next few days. We know the Bitcoin halving of May 2020 has finally occurred, guys. The rewards is what, 6.25 now. This is revolutionary. This is going to be the make or break moment, do or die. So right here with this chart, as we can see, we have the next point of resistance. This is shared by Kia Crypto. As we can see here, golden ratio, the Fibonacci retracement. On the upside, we're looking at Bitcoin if it breaks out to 12,000 to 14,000 per token. I personally want this scenario. I'm tired of waiting for price. I want Bitcoin to bring this market up. I know utility will drive the market and keep that ground floor high. But for the moment, I'm just, kind of wanting to see some positive price action. I've been so bored the past 2 to 3 years at this point. All right, so right here, and again, it is a dormant volcano, guys. It is a matter of time. The people that have actually done their own research, even beyond just, analyzing charts, you realize what is happening. The biggest groups in the world are embracing DLT. Custody solutions are coming to fruition. Once we can secure these assets and regulations come, the floodgates will open for tokenization and the digitization of assets, okay? Now, if Bitcoin does break, the bearish scenario seems, at least to the first point of support, is $4,000 to $6,000 per Bitcoin. If that happens, all crypto's going down with it, unless we see one of the first decoupling events in history. You can't rule anything out. Simply keep your mind open, entertain every possibility, and we will see what happens, okay? If we break the 12 to 14K, don't be surprised to see even a 50-cent XRP. Simply a matter of time. And this is just being coupled to it. That's not even utility based. And as the value of XRP goes, again, liquidity increases, and they can, at least on-demand liquidity customers, RippleNet partners, can utilize and take advantage of that for their own internal systems as well. And it can have this type of domino effect. But are we at that point yet? Like right now, we will see. All right. Next up, guys, FUDBingo, FUDBINGO.com. Website for many people. I highly recommend it if you guys have some questions or typical, newbie questions, kind of fearful questions, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. For example, someone commented the other day, saying XRP's price might be a bad thing because it's too fast as a bridge asset. And, that's why Bitcoin would be better because it's slow and costly. No, that's not the case. I get the thought, but in reality, guys, there's still going to be a net overlap of transactions. This is driving demand and, reducing supply, driving the price up. If you guys want to read more about it, FUDBingo.com. And, there's a multitude of articles you can check out. Highly recommend it. And yes, I'm trying to talk fast because I don't want to have to record this video again. All right, right here, James Rule. So Rule XRP, so Visa token service to add 28 new partners to strengthen digital payment security globally. Now, I was reading a bit about this. This is an older initiative, but what's important is just of May 13th, 2020, new news came out pushing for tokenization of assets, talking about the reduction of friction within payments and enhanced security for their clients. Okay, so we can kind of look at this a little bit if you want. Again, this is on businesswire.com. So Visa token, we can see the new partners that are coming. Tokenization replaces a cardholder's 16-digit account number with the token that Visa can only unlock, protecting the underlying card number from fraudsters. There's a bunch of benefits from this, even initially automatically for Visa to update new card credentials for payments. You don't miss payments. Talking about enhancing security as well, reducing friction in payment process. You can see this. All kinds of things. So a bunch of benefits. And literally, this is what we've been talking about on this channel for so long. The narrative doesn't change. Now, remember, we're going to talk about this in a bit. Visa acquired Earthport. Okay, well, let's get into it right now, actually, because I'm excited. So Visa acquired Earthport. We understand that Earthport is a RippleNet partner. We know Earthport.com. Right here, Ripple, and essentially Ripple's already integrated with them. We know Bank of America, it's not speculation. They are, already with them now. Are they using on-demand liquidity? No, not at this time, to my knowledge. But yes, they are a RippleNet partner. They've already said it. It's very well known at this point. So Ripple, partnered essentially directly and indirectly with, of course, Earthport, Visa, because they acquired Ripple, and they literally have a quote of saying, this purchase was to help, team up with Ripple to basically replace Swift infrastructure, the legacy services that are 40 years old at this point. It's costly. It's not really helping them. Time to revamp everything. All right. And then Bank of America. Now, also, we can see, since Earthport wants to use its network, be that one single API connection and plug into everything else. And it's honestly looks like a distributed framework, kind of a one in distributed all over the globe. We have TransferWise, World Remit. You guys can look at these partners as well, Zoom, etc. Now, Earthport, as we can see, Earthport model with a simple single integration. They give you flexible funding and foreign exchange capabilities, smart routing. Okay, remember, this just kind of reminds me of even streaming of payments as well, but that can be a whole nother topic. In direct clearing through our global banking network. Notice, single integration, guys. It's all software-based, extremely simple nowadays. All right, managing the complexities, cross-border payments, specifically XRP's use case. And you wonder why Ripple partner. Do you really think they're just using RippleNet software? They don't want to go to the thing that is going to save them and have the best savings and benefits long-term? Ripple's whole thing, they said XRP is their biggest priority, but they have to lay the groundwork. When you are building a house, if you do not have a strong foundation, there's no point. And guess what? They are building a freaking skyscraper. So you have to get that foundation right. They're not going to be rushing it just so some random guy on the internet that bought this digital asset can make money. They are doing this for themselves to put a dent in the universe, and hopefully, and I believe they will, the likelihood is growing by the day, to truly not make a dent merely, but to improve everything in terms of the transferring of value. All right, so now let's continue to look at Earthport again. So as we can see, current model, with the picture, it says it all. Look at how many intermediaries we have to go through, clunky payments, especially with corridors that do not have direct payments through them, hard to reach corridors. And that's exactly what RippleNet is doing. The Earthport solution, again, direct access to local banks where your payments need to be sent, removing the complexities, hidden fees, again, with RippleNet's capabilities and other groups and even ACI, potentially, worldwide with $14 trillion per day in transactions with securities included. You can understand why foreign exchange rates, the rates before payments, are essential, because then you can decide, okay, should we use XRP? Should we just use Xcurrent or Swift GPI? Or should we use the traditional Swift rails? And you guys they can get insight into their payment and decide what is best for them. And over time, as more people start using the more updated technology, it'll all go to a digital bridge asset. And it's my bet that it's XRP. Any other closed system is not going to solve the issue. We go over this all the time. All right, so again, Earthport solution, we get it. Compliant, future-proof, compatible, adaptive, etc. All right, and then Earthport again provides clients with access to the world's largest independent global payment network. 88 countries, at least on their website right now, through which client business is settled. Okay, settlements, XRP. All right, now let's get back to the information. So right here, guys, I just wanted to share this. So we know we got that great news with the exchange Bitrue and Ripple. As we can see again, XRP's role in solving problems with cross-border payments is the perfect use case that will drive growth, which is why Bitrue, the exchange, decided to make it the central asset of our exchange. So it's officially the base currency. Highly, highly recommend you guys checking this out. I know, we have links in the description, of course, for Bitrue as well, but we have also, I'm sure you have a Coinbase account. You probably have a Binance account. You may have, an Uphold account, and maybe, Bitstamp, some additional exchanges that are popular and global. But in terms of XRP, if you guys want multiple base pairs, you want to be able to swing trade. Of course, I have long-term holdings I don't touch, and I keep saying this for newcomers so they don't think I'm just trading my holdings. But I do have a small bag, or what I consider to be a small bag of XRP, and I swing trade it. And again, Bitrue, even in September, they had 70 plus trading pairs for XRP specifically. So again, links in the description. I always diversify in the exchanges I have. I do not hold, too many assets on an exchange at one time. That is why I own my own private keys, and that is why I always push for getting wallets. You guys can create paper wallets. You can get a Ledger Nano S. Those are your own cryptocurrency hardware wallets. Those are the things that look like a little thumb drive. It is cold storage. As long as you do not share your password and those seed words with anybody, your assets are secure. They will not be stuck on Coinbase during a bull run. you own your assets. Okay. So again, 50% off for those. That is ending, I believe, the 17th. So limited time. I guarantee every time a bull run comes, those wallets become so expensive. So right now, when everyone doesn't believe in the tech, this is the time to buy. This is the cheapest that they will ever be, in my opinion. All right. So again, let's talk about XRP's role. Now, the cool thing is that Bitroot is, well, of course, we know, running on Ripple now, which is awesome. Chris Wang, CEO and co-founder of Bitroot. We can learn a little bit more about them, as we can see on Ripple's website. But the cool thing is that they're going to actually be able to loan XRP and utilize it as collateral. Remember the previous video? We were just talking about this use case. Remember Miguel Valles back in the day talking about lending XRP? Well, guess what? They're doing the same thing. What did I say? A few videos ago, probably. Look into collateralized debt positions, CDPs. This will be huge for not only XRP, but Ethereum, Bitcoin, any cryptocurrency that solves a purpose and has demand. Locking them up in escrow and holding them, or just even holding them as collateral. There's going to be so many more use cases that, of course, kind of instigate and spark capital efficiency. All right. So I feel like probably every YouTube channel has already talked about this. So again, you guys can find this on ripple.com/insights, and you guys can find the recent news. But again, on-demand liquidity for faster, cheaper payments. They kind of go into depth about everything. Yep, 77 pairs for XRP specifically. I was reading all of this earlier. So, I mean, it's nothing that you guys don't already know. Obviously, they chose XRP as the base currency for a reason. I mean, you get it. Nothing new that we haven't already talked about. All right, now this is really cool. So I Am Legion posting under Digital Asset Investors video. So we got Monzo and TransferWise. And I'm just going to say Monzo, might be Monzo. So Monzo has partnered with TransferWise to offer international payments to customers. This was back in 2018. And as we can see here, Monzo, send money internationally from the Monzo app, 8 times cheaper than with high street banks, powered by TransferWise. Now, what's relevant with TransferWise? Well, we already saw, even right here, TransferWise, Earthport, they're a partner. We've already said basically all these partners are now indirect partners of Earthport and Ripple as well. So as we can see that, so let's keep going. And then right here, TransferWise, we won't use blockchain until more banks use Ripple. That's a pretty bold article title, again, CCN. So just sharing that. And I found that to be pretty interesting, all right? If you guys don't think that they're going to be planning long-term to utilize Ripple, I don't know what to say. We already have the bulk of India at this point in most of these countries, and this is RippleNet. This is not using XRP yet. There's a method to the madness. They've been nothing but transparent. And for a private company, they really don't have to share anything. All right, so let's keep going. So again, just to get a good look at Monzo, we can see Monzo partnered with TransferWise International Payments, UK Challengers integrated TransferWise API. Again, simple, all software based, to help customers send money in 16 currencies. More currencies will be added in the future. They started with a small group and test of less than 1 million customers, 5-week period. All right, you can understand the benefits. This is happening right in front of your eyes. And I also found this to be interesting. So on Monzo.com, guys, get paid a day early. Put your salary into Monzo and we can advance you the cash 1 day early. No cost, no hassle, just more time with your money. Found that to be interesting. I've seen many groups doing this, but understand that when real-time payments do come, this will not be an issue. When payments are truly, the friction is reduced. By the end of your workday, you're going to get paid for the work you did. You're not going to be paid bi-weekly, monthly, or once a week. It will be instantaneous. So eventually, it would be, the night after your shift. And then when streaming of payments is truly efficient, there's liquidity, and this whole Internet of Value is built. And my bet that Interledger protocol, this giant protocol that is gifted to the World Wide Web Consortium, the group that governs the entire internet, my bet is they will be using ILP, and this was created by Ripple and Hyperledger, and they have a vested interest to use their digital bridge asset. XRP, Ethereum can be great for smart contracts. I also would like to, kind of bet that Codius and some other applications will play big roles here as well. And do not forget the capabilities of the XRP ledger itself. All right. So again, eventually, you're going to be getting paid per hour, like streaming right away. You're only going to pay for Netflix when you're watching an episode, and it'll be, instead of a monthly rate, it'll depend. As I say on this channel a lot, imagine paying car insurance when you have an IoT device tracking it, or an RFID chip, or whatever they use. When you're driving, you're only paying for how much you drive. All right? Instead of paying $200 or $100 a month for car insurance, if you don't drive much, you should pay, $50. Or if you're driving a lot that month, maybe, $150, $300. All right, just an example. All right, now, right here. So again, this is a push for iTrustCapital, guys. If you want to diversify with some cryptocurrency or even gold, a precious metal, in your IRA, preferably what I would recommend, non-financial advice, is a Roth IRA. iTrustCapital is truly the only group I trust at this time, no pun intended, for their custody and extremely low fees. Now, while XRP is even under $1, of course right now it's around 20 cents, is the perfect time to take advantage of these prices if you recently got laid off and you have a 401k, or you already have an existing IRA and you want to roll some of it over, or just start a new IRA here. The fees are extremely low. You're not going to find anything else other than this. Banks are not able to do this yet. This is fully regulated. They've been, talked about everywhere. Highly recommend it. You can contact Blake. We have the links in the description, and if you use kevincage as your referral code, you do get your first month free. So what I do recommend is at least hearing it out, checking it out, and seeing what it's about. I love the interface, super simple. You can have your portfolio, you can trade instantaneously, access 24/7, and Roth IRA, tax-free crypto when it goes up. So potentially if you had it and you wanted to withdraw earlier, you can still withdraw, but yeah, you'll pay a heavy fee until, the certain age requirements, but this is another option. What are you doing during this bear market to truly plan for the future? All right. Just needed to push that. So again, many people are going to be ending up buying XRP as it's going up. Once it's 50 cents, once it's $1, once it's passing its all-time high of $3, $4, etc., and it's going to be too late. Those that have everything ready now are going to be the ones walking away with the biggest return on their investment. All right? Again, links in the description. Okay, next up. Shared by Wrath of Kahneman. So as we can see, guys, again, another reference directly to R3 and Ripple. So watching. To boost liquidity, Tradeshift and EKF, Denmark's export credit agency, seeking instant payments between Danish SMEs to freeing up capital. Remember, it's all about freeing up this capital, increasing liquidity, so there's operational capital efficiency. You're using your money efficiently instead of having these pre-funded accounts stuck in, sitting there globally as just in case money, or just friction between payments itself. We want that money to be instant and ready to go at all times. Specifically, a bridge asset that happens to be multi-currency, highly secure, highly scalable is, a great option because the network will not be congested. It's autonomous. There's not going to be a bunch of intermediaries and counterparty risk. There's just too many benefits to the name at this point. All right, so Tradeshift partners with HSBC and Santander. FYI, these are both RippleNet partners. Integrates with R3 Corda and Ripple. So there's two articles here. Again, there's two links in the first tweet. One describes Denmark's initiative with Tradeshift to alleviate liquidity problems. The other is an article about Tradeshift in which the CEO says they integrate with both Ripple blockchain payments and R3's Corda. And yes, Corda can settle with XRP. It was the first digital asset named. They say that they can settle with other digital assets. Thus far, XRP has been the only one named. Now, many people believe that R3 is too big. The world of trade finance, the trillions of dollars that I believe high value payments will utilize XRP. People say no, but my question is this: why would R3 sue Ripple back in the day for the 5 billion XRP and have no plan to utilize it on their network, and then also name it the first digital asset? Was it full, just for publicity? Because the biggest shareholder for R3 and Ripple is SBI. And their dream is to merge Ripple and R3 or somehow have them work together. And at the end of the day, it's a win-win for Ripple, whoever uses XRP, because they own a bulk amount and they have, of course, the founders in the company owns it, but they have the escrow amount. Now, that amount in escrow, it scares a lot of people. For me, I see it as a good thing. I see it as potentially the future for reserves, for pooled liquidity. There's so many things they can do with that XRP. They've talked about giving it to governmental bodies or government bodies in the future. There's just a lot going on. There's no reason to be freaking out about every little thing or every article you read, guys. You have to understand, if you're going to freak out about that, this might not be the best place for you. This is going to be a massive market. The predictions are unlike any. If you think that the dot-com bubble was big, this will dwarf that. We understand that this is the internet of value rather than just data and information, and I can assure you that value is what will drive this market. All right, next up. So again, we can kind of look at this briefly. So Tradeshift rolls out supply chain managements, both blockchain and regular. All right, so regular management or payments, HSBC. And then, of course, currently says TradeShift platform can integrate with both Ripple and blockchain payments and R3's Corda. Okay, end-to-end platform, utilizing applications. We get it. Awesome. All right, and then right here, instant payments to free up liquidity in Denmark. We can see the push for this, enabling companies to settle their suppliers' invoices early. The TradeShift trading platform can assist with the digital infrastructure to facilitate the instant payment model. All right, now understand that this is going to have a huge effect on capital efficiency. When money is back and available, you can source and create additional streams of revenue, all right, allowing more SMEs to boost their liquidity. I know liquidity is a catch-all term here, but in the world of financial markets, liquidity is key. Liquidity begets liquidity, all right? Remember, XRP's goal to be as liquid, if not more liquid, than a G10 currency. If this is the case, the price will be orders of magnitude higher. There's no point to even predict it because there's too many factors and multiplier effects. Just assume significantly higher than what we've ever seen. All right. All right, almost done here, guys. Pay attention. So right here, this cool thread, these guys were going back and forth about the buying pressure and selling pressure of on-demand liquidity, talking about the Mexican USD corridor. And one thing that caught my eye is, of course, with RippleNet in the new lending program. Now, Arturo Portilla actually made a good point here. Now, again, keep this in mind. With RippleNet members, these working capital loans would be granted to RippleNet members. Ripple has a very rich insight into the payment flows of every RippleNet member and has done a very exhaustive due diligence to onboard them. It could even make withholdings in case of defaults. Really, really interesting. And yes, lending will provide liquidity to XRP. And there's a bunch of other speculation that goes along with it. I get it, but just understand that it can potentially drive demand unlike anything we've ever seen. And there's going to be a numerous amount of benefits that accompany this, well beyond just RippleNet, such as Kava, Nexo, all these other companies that are doing collateralized debt positions, okay? And we've also just talked about BitTrue lending, but now RippleNet members, when they're lending XRP or being lent XRP, what happens when they're paying back the XRP? That's additional pressure, correct, liquidity, and on top of lending it, now you've just created interest out of thin air. Poof. And those interest payments are additional liquidity, additional demand for XRP. Do you see how big this can get when you have financial institutions that are settling, transacting billions of dollars? This is what I'm talking about, all right? And this is only one small example. All right, next, we're going to finish up with this, guys. So, as we know, the recent news, guys, we know, Ripple, we understand their benefit and obviously the strategic acquisition of MoneyGram, the second largest money service business in the world. We understand they're using XRP in payment flows. There's virtually no other digital asset being used by institutions besides XRP to date, yet nobody talks about that. Interesting. Another reason why I'm looking more into XRP and finding all of the connections that are completely hidden if you don't know where to look. So again, MoneyGram, we understand the benefits, on-demand liquidity, ramping up even with the Mexican USD corridor. We understand Australian dollar. We understand Philippine peso. A lot of corridors are growing, and it's really interesting to see the Euro US dollar corridor getting a little volume as well. And it really makes you wonder, obviously, it's the most liquid corridor, and they said they would not even target it until the rest of the things were in the bag. So what is really going on at play? If you guys think that on-demand liquidity is Ripple's whole use case for XRP, I disagree. I think they're going to drive significant demand through other initiatives. Pay attention to Spring. Do you understand what the Logos Network is doing, these acquisitions for DeFi, building derivatives products? Why are they going into the derivatives market, which makes the cross-border market look tiny? Derivatives, hundreds of trillions, 544 trillion to 1.2 quadrillion dollars, give or take. It is such a highly valuable market that analysts cannot even predict it accurately. They just know the bottom of the spectrum and the top of the spectrum. Understand, if we're going digital, all of that value has to move, and it will be an open sourced protocol. It's not just going to be some company or a Fed coin controlling this. There's vested interests. You have to use something that has no counterparty risk that everybody can agree upon. It is going to be distributed, and it becomes more decentralized with the more users and the more validators that are joining the network. This is powerful stuff. All right? And I'm going to continuously be putting out these videos because I believe in this asset. I've seen other assets, but for now, this is one of the most immediate use cases. And yes, I do hold other digital assets, guys. I can assure you of that. All right? But XRP is by far my biggest holding. All right, so MoneyGram, we understand to offer direct-to-account deposits in India through tie-up with the federal bank. We know, the Reserve Bank of India, their governor, Dr. Rajan, he's spoken at Swell, loves Ripple. We understand the biggest players in the game that no one talks about are backing Ripple. They're not backing, Bitcoin. They're backing Ripple, the company. They're backing XRP, the ecosystem. They're, the IMF, all these groups. It's tied behind them, right? So we understand MoneyGram, their connections with India. Well, remember the old quotes with Ripple, with India. And this is old as well. So this is on XRP right now. And remember, Ashish Birla of Ripple, guys. This was was this 2018, I believe? Here's a quote from him. Check this out. That was the idea. But then we realized that if you get the top 3 banks in India onto Ripple, you get 80% of the market share. And then we looked at where's the future? And we realized in the next 5 years, 1 billion people will become banked in India. They will be banked through their phone. Similar to what I talk about, guys, with the unbanked populations in India, Africa, etc. So then we started targeting mobile phone providers and telcos. And so now I think that in our pipeline, we have probably 50% of the market in India either integrated onto Ripple or in the deal, in the sort of pipeline to be signed to India. Now, this was well over a year ago. It might be 2018, might be 2 years ago at this point. Understand how big that is. Okay, and this is a really well-written article. I enjoyed this a lot. Just wanted to share that. Let me see here. And again, this direct deposit, this direct-to-account deposit is going to benefit. And of course, it kind of goes hand in hand with the initiative with, the pandemic and people wanting to stay in homes. We get it. So understand this, guys. According to the World Bank, India remains the world's top recipient of remittances and is estimated to have received more than $82 billion in remittances in 2019. The federal bank alone enjoys a market share of more than 15% in India. And the tie-up with MoneyGram is expected to provide a further boost to business. Interesting. So every time, we already know, of course, 50 central banks are working with Ripple. Don't be fooled. There's plenty of evidence to support this, and not even support it. They've already said it in numerous interviews, so there's no question. But it's just all right in front of you guys. All right in front of you. All right, now one thing I'm not even going to read through because I'm kind of tired of talking, but I want to show this, and I'm going to leave the link in the video description because I thought it was really cool if anyone from the United States wants to check this out. So right here, shared by XRP for lovers. So read for yourself how the state of Wyoming and their new laws can benefit you as a digital asset holder. What do Wyoming's 13 new blockchain laws mean? And this is written by Caitlin Long. Again, guys, please read this. This will be in the top of the video description for anyone that lives in Wyoming, wants to relocate, and take advantage of some of these tax benefits in cryptocurrency. So what's cool is, again, we know the Token Taxonomy Act, they were a huge driver for the state of Wyoming. This is talking about custody and how people that don't even live in the state of Wyoming can take advantage and work the system in their favor. How businesses can benefit from Wyoming's blockchain laws, how you guys, a lot of people are registered via Delaware. Check out and kind of do a, compare and contrast between the two. This could potentially help you or someone big time. What you can also do is have cold storage addressed in another state to take advantage of taking profit there. It's absolutely genius. I just, I don't want to butcher it at this point, guys. I'm super groggy today. I'm gonna need to hydrate, honestly. But I'm tired of ranting right now, so sorry if I seem a little off. I didn't get too much sleep, but just wanted to share this article. This will be in the top of the video description, congress.gov as well. Let me see. And again, Caitlin Long, if you guys want to know her background, very reputable. She's been in the space. Bitcoin evangelist since 2012, served on Morgan Stanley's internal blockchain working group. You can see her kind of school history here at Harvard Law School as well. Really cool lady. And she has done so much for this space, specifically for, Wyoming, and kind of just pushing blockchain initiatives and regulations in our favor for everyday use and mass adoption. So with that, guys, I appreciate it if you stuck around with me this long. I know that was a little drawn out. iTrustCapital, links in the description. First month free. Get on BitChute. Just create an account just in case, guys, so you can always trade your assets, because many exchanges do not have direct pairs. When you are forced and you're holding some altcoin and you have to go to Bitcoin and then buy XRP, it can become very costly. So direct trading pairs on an exchange where XRP is a base currency, Binance and Coinbase are not base currency, or do not have XRP as a base currency, can save you a bunch, especially if you're trading or buying and selling crypto on the daily. And then also, remember, wallets for the Ledger Nanos in the video description. That is ending within days for the discount. When the bull run comes, say goodbye to those prices. So if you guys have any questions, leave them down below. Continue to follow me and ask me any questions on Twitter. I'm a bit more active there. Appreciate all of you as always, and I will see you in the next video.